Las Vegas has never been a city that does anything quietly. But when the spotlight turned toward Bruno Mars, the entertainment capital of the world found a way to make an already extraordinary story feel even bigger. A street connected to Bruno Mars, a ceremonial key representing Las Vegas, and a special Bruno Mars Day celebration that transformed the superstar's relationship with the city into something much more meaningful than another night on stage. For fans who have followed Bruno Mars through his career, this was more than a collection of honors. It was a powerful reminder of how deeply the singer, songwriter, performer, and Las Vegas headliner has become connected to the city itself. And there is one detail in this story that makes the entire celebration even more fascinating. Because Las Vegas did not simply celebrate Bruno Mars as a famous musician. The city celebrated him as an artist who had become part of the identity, energy, and entertainment culture that Las Vegas is famous for around the world. Before we get deeper into everything surrounding Bruno Mars Drive, the ceremonial key, and Bruno Mars Day, make sure you stay until the end, because the biggest part of the story is not just about a name on a street or a symbolic award. It is about what these honors say about Bruno Mars' extraordinary legacy in Las Vegas. And if you are a Bruno Mars fan, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. Las Vegas may be thousands of miles away, but Bruno Mars has built a global audience that continues to follow every major moment of his career. Now imagine the scene. Las Vegas, the city of neon lights, the city of legendary casinos, massive entertainment venues, celebrity residencies, luxury hotels, and some of the biggest concerts in the world. For decades, performers have dreamed about becoming synonymous with this city. Some artists come to Las Vegas for a few shows. Some establish successful residencies. Some perform in packed arenas and leave behind unforgettable memories. But only a small number of entertainers become so closely associated with the city that their names become part of the Las Vegas story itself. That is where Bruno Mars enters the picture. The Grammy-winning superstar has spent years building a reputation as one of the most electrifying live performers of his generation. His music combines pop, funk, soul, R&B, rock, and old-school showmanship. His performances are known for their choreography, musicianship, humor, fashion, live vocals, and the unmistakable chemistry between Bruno and his audience. But Las Vegas gave him something different. It gave Bruno Mars a place where his performance style could exist in an environment built around entertainment. And Bruno, in return, helped create nights that fans would remember long after the final note disappeared. That relationship became increasingly important as his Las Vegas performances continued to attract audiences from around the world. Now zoom in on the significance of the name Bruno Mars Drive. A street name may sound simple. A sign, a few words, a location. But when a city chooses to recognize an entertainer in this way, the symbolism can be enormous. A street name becomes permanent. Unlike a concert date, which eventually disappears from the calendar, a commemorative name can remain connected to the physical landscape of a city. Every time people pass that location, the name becomes another reminder of the artist's connection to Las Vegas. And for Bruno Mars, that connection makes sense because his career has repeatedly intersected with the city's entertainment culture. This is not simply about having hit songs. Bruno Mars has become known for creating a complete entertainment experience. Think about the songs. Just the Way You Are, Grenade, Locked Out of Heaven, Treasure, Uptown Funk, 24K Magic, That's What I Like, Finesse, Leave the Door Open, When I Was Your Man, and more recently, the music associated with his latest chapter. These songs have crossed generations and borders. They have been played on radio stations, streamed billions of times, performed at weddings, used in social media videos, featured at sporting events, and transformed into unforgettable live moments. But a Bruno Mars concert is not simply a playlist performed on a stage. It is a show, and Las Vegas understands the value of a show better than almost anywhere else. That is why the symbolism surrounding Bruno Mars Drive becomes so interesting. It represents the intersection of two brands that are almost impossible to separate when you think about modern entertainment. Bruno Mars and Las Vegas. One is a global superstar, The other is one of the world's most recognizable entertainment destinations. Together, they represent spectacle, music, nightlife, glamour, and unforgettable experiences. And then came another major symbol of recognition, the key to Las Vegas. At first glance, a ceremonial key may look like a simple object. But historically, a key presented by a city is meant to represent welcome, appreciation, and recognition. Carries a message. You are part of this community. You have contributed something meaningful. You are being recognized by the city. And when that recognition is given to someone as globally famous as Bruno Mars, it creates a powerful visual moment. Picture the symbolism. A superstar who has performed in some of the largest venues on the planet standing in Las Vegas, receiving a key associated with the city. The same city that attracts tourists from every corner of the world. The same city known for Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, Celine Dion, Britney Spears, Adele, Usher, and countless other legendary performers. And now Bruno Mars has another chapter in that history. This is where the story becomes bigger than celebrity news. Because Bruno Mars is not simply another artist who performed in Las Vegas. His relationship with the city has become part of the larger conversation about modern music residencies and live entertainment. Las Vegas has evolved dramatically over the decades. The city once had a reputation primarily associated with casino entertainment and traditional showrooms. Today, it is one of the biggest destinations for global music stars. Superstars can establish long-running shows, attract international tourism, generate massive economic activity, and create cultural moments that extend far beyond the venue. And Bruno Mars fits perfectly into that ecosystem. His music is nostalgic enough to appeal to longtime music fans, but modern enough to dominate streaming platforms and social media. His stage presence feels classic, but his popularity remains completely contemporary. That combination is rare, and it may explain why Bruno Mars has become such a natural fit for Las Vegas. Now here is where many fans may have missed an important part of the story. The Bruno Mars Day celebration is not simply about giving fans another reason to celebrate their favorite artist. It represents recognition of his contribution to the entertainment culture surrounding Las Vegas. A special day dedicated to an artist is symbolic. It gives fans a moment on the calendar to remember. It creates a connection between the artist and the city. And most importantly, it turns a successful entertainment relationship into a piece of local cultural history. Think about what that means for a performer. You can win awards. You can sell millions of records. You can collect billions of streams. You can headline festivals. You can perform at the Super Bowl. You can become one of the most recognizable names in music. But having a city officially recognize your contribution is something completely different. It is local recognition for a global career. And Las Vegas is not just any city. It is a city whose identity is built around entertainment. That makes the honor particularly meaningful. Now pause for a moment, because there is a deeper story underneath all of this. Bruno Mars has always presented himself as an entertainer in the traditional sense. Not simply a recording artist, not simply a vocalist, not simply a celebrity, an entertainer. His performances often feel like an old-school variety show updated for a modern global audience. The suits, the choreography, the musicians, the band, the lighting, the humor, the audience interaction, the dance moves, the live instrumentation. Everything is designed to create an experience. And that philosophy is almost perfectly aligned with Las Vegas. Las Vegas is built around experiences. People do not travel there simply to see a building. They travel there to feel something, to see something unforgettable, to tell stories when they return home. And Bruno Mars has built his career around exactly that idea. Give the audience a moment they will remember. Give them a chorus they can sing. Give them a dance they can imitate. Give them a performance they will talk about the next day. But the story of Bruno Mars and Las Vegas does not end with a street name, a ceremonial key, or a day dedicated to celebrating the superstar. In many ways, those moments are only the visible part of a much larger story. Behind the headlines is a relationship that has been developing for years, built through performances, sold-out audiences, unforgettable songs, and a shared understanding of what entertainment is supposed to feel like. Las Vegas is a city where entertainment history is constantly being created. Every night, thousands of people walk through its famous streets looking for something memorable. They come from different countries, different generations, and completely different backgrounds, but they arrive with the same expectation. They want an experience. And that is exactly what Bruno Mars has always understood. His concerts are not simply about standing on a stage and singing familiar songs. They are designed around energy, personality, musicianship, and connection. That is why seeing Bruno Mars live can feel completely different from listening to Bruno Mars through headphones. The recordings introduce the songs. The live performance gives those songs a new life. A familiar melody can suddenly become a massive audience sing-along. A simple dance move can become a viral moment. A guitar riff can trigger thousands of people to scream at the same time. And a song that listeners may have heard hundreds of times can suddenly feel brand new. This is one of the reasons Las Vegas has been such an important part of Bruno Mars' career. The city understands performers who can create moments. It rewards artists who can turn a concert into an event. And Bruno Mars has consistently demonstrated that ability. Think about the atmosphere surrounding his biggest performances. The lights go down. The audience begins to react. The musicians take their positions. Then Bruno appears. For a few seconds, the entire room changes. The crowd is no longer thinking about their phones, their hotel rooms, their dinner reservations, or anything else happening outside the venue. Their attention is completely focused on the stage. That ability to command an audience is one of the most valuable skills in live entertainment. And it is also one of the reasons Bruno Mars has become such a natural fit for Las Vegas. But there is another layer to the story. Bruno Mars represents a style of entertainment that feels timeless. His music often pays tribute to previous generations while still sounding modern. His fashion can reference classic performers. His choreography can feel inspired by the golden age of television and stage entertainment. His band plays an important role in the experience, and his performances often carry the energy of an old-school showman. Las Vegas has always celebrated that kind of performer. The city has a long history of entertainers who were bigger than their songs. Artists who became personalities. Artists who created experiences. Artists whose names became associated with Las Vegas itself. Bruno Mars now occupies a place in that broader tradition. And that is why the idea of Bruno Mars Drive is so powerful. A street is part of the physical identity of a city. Unlike a temporary billboard or a concert advertisement, a street name can remain visible long after the original celebration is over. It becomes part of the landscape. It becomes part of people's everyday journeys. And for fans, that can create a fascinating connection between music history and real-world geography. Imagine visiting Las Vegas years from now, seeing the name Bruno Mars Drive, and remembering the music, the concerts, the performances, and the era that created that recognition. That is how celebrity legacy becomes part of a city's memory. It is no longer only stored in recordings. It becomes part of the environment. And that brings us back to Bruno Mars Day. A dedicated day carries another kind of symbolism. It is a moment when a city effectively pauses to recognize an artist's contribution. For fans, it becomes a celebration. For the artist, it becomes recognition. And for Las Vegas, it becomes another chapter in the city's extraordinary entertainment history. The timing is also significant because Bruno Mars continues to remain one of the most recognizable names in global pop music. His songs continue to generate billions of streams. His performances continue to attract massive audiences. His name continues to appear in conversations about the biggest live entertainers in the world. And his influence reaches far beyond music. Bruno Mars has become part of fashion conversations, viral culture, award show history, Super Bowl history, streaming milestones, and international entertainment news. That is why even a seemingly simple announcement connected to his name can quickly become a major talking point among fans. The Bruno Mars brand has become bigger than any single album. It has become bigger than any single song. And it has certainly become bigger than any single concert. It is about the complete experience. That is also why the ceremonial key to Las Vegas creates such a strong image. The key represents access, recognition, welcome. It is a symbolic gesture suggesting that the city is opening its doors to someone who has contributed to its culture. For a performer, receiving such recognition is different from receiving another trophy. A trophy celebrates an achievement. A city recognition celebrates a relationship. And Bruno Mars' relationship with Las Vegas is precisely what makes this story so compelling. There is something almost circular about it. Las Vegas became famous for legendary entertainers. Bruno Mars became one of the biggest entertainers of his generation. He performed in Las Vegas. Audiences traveled to Las Vegas to see him. The city benefited from the attention. The performer benefited from the platform. And eventually, the city found ways to formally recognize his connection to it. That is how entertainment history is created. Not always through one giant moment, but through years of smaller moments that eventually become impossible to separate from one another. And perhaps that is the biggest thing fans should take away from this story. Bruno Mars does not need Las Vegas to prove that he is a superstar. His music has already done that. His awards have already done that. His global tours have already done that. His streaming numbers have already done that. His fan base has already done that. But Las Vegas represents something different. It represents recognition from a city whose entire identity is connected to entertainment. That makes the honor uniquely meaningful. And as Bruno Mars continues through this new era of his career, moments like these may become even more important. Because careers eventually become legacies. Albums become catalogs. Concerts become memories. And moments of recognition become historical markers. Years from now, fans may look back at the Bruno Mars era and remember the songs first. They may remember the costumes. They may remember the viral performances. They may remember the collaborations. They may remember the biggest tours. But they may also remember that Las Vegas chose to put Bruno Mars' name into its own story. That is something a streaming number cannot completely capture. It is something an award cannot fully explain. It is something that exists outside the music itself. It is cultural recognition. And for an artist whose entire career has been built around making people feel something, that may be one of the most meaningful forms of recognition possible. So the next time you hear a Bruno Mars song playing in Las Vegas, think about the bigger picture. The music is only one part of the story. The city is another. The fans are another. The performances are another. And now, the physical landmarks and official celebrations connected to his name become part of the picture too. From the brightest lights on the Las Vegas Strip to the stages where thousands of fans sing every word, Bruno Mars has created something that extends beyond a traditional music career. He has created an entertainment legacy. And Las Vegas, a city that understands entertainment better than almost anywhere else on Earth, has recognized that legacy in its own way. That is why Bruno Mars Drive matters. That is why Bruno Mars Day matters. That is why the Las Vegas Key matters. They are not three unrelated headlines. They are three symbols pointing toward the same conclusion. Bruno Mars has become deeply connected to the entertainment identity of Las Vegas. As the excitement surrounding Bruno Mars and Las Vegas continues, there is another question that naturally comes to mind. What does this kind of recognition actually mean for an artist whose career has already reached global superstar status? The answer may be more complicated than it first appears. Bruno Mars does not need an introduction. His name is already recognized around the world. From Los Angeles to London, Tokyo to Manila, Seoul to Singapore, and countless cities in between, Bruno Mars has built an audience that stretches across borders and generations. His songs have become part of everyday life. His performances have become cultural moments. His collaborations have introduced him to entirely new audiences. And his ability to move between pop, R&B, funk, soul, and retro-inspired sounds has helped him remain remarkably versatile throughout his career. But Las Vegas represents something different. It is not simply another market. It is a city where entertainment itself is the product. People travel there specifically to be entertained. They book hotels because of the shows. They plan vacations around concerts. They spend money on restaurants, transportation, shopping, nightlife, and attractions before and after stepping inside an arena or theater. That means an artist who becomes a major attraction in Las Vegas is contributing to a much larger ecosystem. And Bruno Mars has been one of the artists capable of creating that kind of demand. Fans do not simply hear that Bruno Mars is performing and casually decide whether to attend. For many people, seeing Bruno Mars in Las Vegas becomes part of the trip itself. It becomes an experience they plan months in advance. A weekend in Las Vegas can suddenly become a Bruno Mars weekend. A birthday trip can become a Bruno Mars celebration. A vacation can become a concert memory. And that is the kind of cultural impact that is difficult to measure through charts alone. This is also why the Bruno Mars Drive recognition carries such strong emotional value. A street name is tangible. You can see it. You can photograph it. You can stand beside it. You can share it with friends. For fans, these physical locations can become pilgrimage points. They turn a celebrity story into something people can actually experience. Music exists everywhere, but physical landmarks give that music a place. A fan can listen to 24K Magic anywhere in the world, but standing in a location connected to Bruno Mars creates a different kind of memory. That is the power of place. And Las Vegas has plenty of it. The city is already filled with landmarks associated with entertainment legends. Names, venues, hotels, theaters, and streets have all become connected to performers who helped define different eras. Adding Bruno Mars to that landscape creates another link between the modern generation of music and the entertainment history that came before it. And perhaps that is one of the most interesting things about Bruno Mars. He has always seemed to understand the past. His music often carries elements of earlier eras without simply copying them. He can take the energy of classic funk, the emotion of soul, the rhythm of R&B, the accessibility of pop, and the spectacle of classic show business, then combine those elements into something that feels unmistakably Bruno. That ability is especially valuable in Las Vegas, because Las Vegas is built on nostalgia and reinvention at the same time. It celebrates the legends of yesterday while constantly searching for the stars of tomorrow. Bruno Mars fits directly into that equation. He respects entertainment history while creating his own version of it. And that makes the recognition surrounding Bruno Mars Day even more significant. The celebration is not simply about looking backward. It is also about acknowledging an artist who continues to shape contemporary entertainment. That distinction matters, because Bruno Mars is not a legacy act performing only for longtime fans. He remains a current global superstar. His music continues to dominate streaming platforms. His performances continue to generate viral clips. His name continues to appear in entertainment headlines. And younger audiences continue to discover his older songs. That is one of the clearest signs of lasting popularity. When a song released years ago suddenly becomes popular again on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, or another platform, it proves that music can have multiple lives. Bruno Mars has experienced that phenomenon repeatedly. A new generation can discover Just the Way You Are. Another generation can connect with Grenade. Then a different audience discovers Uptown Funk. Later, That's What I Like becomes part of another wave of social media culture. Then Leave the Door Open introduces Silk Sonic to millions of listeners. This ability to remain culturally relevant across different musical eras is one of the strongest arguments for Bruno Mars' place among modern entertainment icons. And Las Vegas recognizes exactly that kind of staying power. The city is not interested only in what is popular for 1 week. Las Vegas is built around performers who can create lasting demand. Artists who can bring people back. Artists who can make audiences talk. Artists who can turn a concert into an event. Bruno Mars has repeatedly demonstrated those qualities. Now imagine the long-term impact of this recognition. A tourist sees Bruno Mars Drive. Fan takes a photo. Someone uploads it to social media. Another fan discovers the story. A Bruno Mars video receives new attention. Someone searches for Bruno Mars Las Vegas. Another person searches for Bruno Mars Day. A new audience member discovers his music. And suddenly, a local recognition becomes part of a global digital conversation. That is the modern celebrity ecosystem. A physical event in one city can become international content within minutes. And Bruno Mars has one of the strongest fan communities capable of amplifying moments like this. That is why these stories matter to entertainment news. They are not isolated incidents. They become part of a larger conversation about celebrity, music, tourism, live performances, and pop culture. But perhaps the most emotional part of this story belongs to the fans. For years, fans have watched Bruno Mars evolve. They saw the early hits. They watched him become a global superstar. They watched his performances become bigger. They saw collaborations introduce new dimensions to his artistry. They watched him return with new music. And now they get to see his name connected directly to the city that has played such an important role in his live entertainment journey. For a fan, that can feel personal. Because fans are not simply consumers of music. They attach memories to songs. A Bruno Mars song might remind someone of their first relationship. Another song might remind someone of a family celebration. Another might bring back memories of a concert. And another might remind someone of a particular year in their life. When those songs become connected to a physical place, the memories become even stronger. Las Vegas becomes more than a destination. It becomes part of the soundtrack. That is the emotional power behind this recognition. And it is also why the story is likely to continue attracting attention long after the original celebration. Because Bruno Mars' career is still moving forward. His next performance can create another viral moment. His next song can create another streaming milestone. His next collaboration can create another international headline. There is another reason the Bruno Mars and Las Vegas story continues to attract attention. And it has less to do with the ceremony itself and more to do with what Bruno Mars represents to the modern entertainment industry. For years, Las Vegas has been changing the way people think about live music. The traditional idea of a concert was simple. An artist announces a tour, travels from city to city, performs for a few hours, and moves on to the next destination. But Las Vegas created another model. Instead of constantly moving, an artist can establish a deeper connection with one city. That city becomes a destination. The concert becomes an experience. And the performer becomes one of the reasons people travel there. Bruno Mars has been one of the clearest examples of how powerful that model can become. His appeal is global, but his connection with Las Vegas feels unusually personal. Fans know what they are going to get when they walk into a Bruno Mars performance. They know there will be energy. They know there will be musicianship. They know there will be dancing. They know there will be humor. They know there will be moments when the entire audience suddenly becomes part of the performance. That consistency is one of the reasons his live reputation has become so strong. But there is also an element of unpredictability. A Bruno Mars show can create moments that fans did not expect. A different arrangement, a spontaneous interaction, a surprising musical transition, a special guest, a change in performance style. These moments can quickly become fan discussions online. One clip appears on social media, then another, then reaction videos, then fan accounts begin sharing memories, then entertainment outlets begin reporting on the moment. Suddenly, a single night in Las Vegas becomes an international conversation. That is the power of modern live entertainment. And Bruno Mars understands it. He knows that a concert does not necessarily end when the final song is performed. The audience leaves the venue carrying the experience with them. They talk about it. They record it. They post about it. They tell friends. They search for videos. They watch clips again. The show continues to exist online. That is why Bruno Mars' connection to Las Vegas is so valuable from a cultural perspective. The city creates the stage. The performer creates the moment. And the fans create the conversation. Now consider what happens when that conversation includes an official recognition such as Bruno Mars Day. The story immediately gains another layer. It is no longer only fan-created. It becomes part of the city's public celebration. That difference is important. Fans can make almost anything trend. But when a city formally recognizes an artist, the recognition becomes part of a larger institutional story. It becomes something that can be referenced years later. And that is why the Bruno Mars Day story has such potential to become part of his long-term Las Vegas legacy. Imagine a future fan discovering Bruno Mars years from now. They may search for his biggest songs. They may watch his classic performances. They may explore his albums. And eventually, they may discover that Las Vegas once celebrated Bruno Mars with an official day and other forms of recognition. That discovery creates a connection between the artist's music and the city. Suddenly, Las Vegas becomes part of the Bruno Mars timeline, and Bruno Mars becomes part of the Las Vegas timeline. That kind of connection